ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. Good afternoon. So, is any document shared in your Slack groups? Okay. So, we are actually working on that tie. Unfortunately, the day your batch started, the compiler is down. Maybe few of them might be happy, but it's a sad thing. We are working on that particular part, but in the meantime, make sure you see the questions from there and you practice. And we'll make sure that whatever is done today, those questions are also posted as a document. So you can solve all those problems in Eclipse. If you have any doubts, you can actually put the doubts in the Slack, or one more option is, I hope everyone has Thai access, you can ask the doubts over there. Is that clear to you? Great. So what was the last problem that we solved in yesterday's class? Whether the last digit is multiple of even or odd. Okay. Anyways, actually I would give you one character, or let's assume I will give you one integer value. So n value will be, let's assume 65. Now what is that you need to do is, you need to print the equivalent ASCII character for this particular thing. So I hope everyone has learned data types. In data types, when you were learning, there was one table displayed in your class. Majority of you would have ignored that particular table. In that, for the number 65, there was one character. That character has to be printed. So if the user gives input as 65, the output has to be A. In case if the n value is equal to 90, then what is a character? This is what the output has to be. Is the question clear to everyone? Please write the code. ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. How many of you have written the code? You want me to solve that problem? Okay, let's start writing the code. So first thing that I need to do over here is I need to create an object of scanner. So let's quickly create an object of scanner. So within that I need to say system.in, and I will give a reference called as scan, and we have imported that as well, scan. So let's come to the next line. How many inputs are we taking in this? One single input. So let's take the input by saying scan.nextInt, and whatever input that we have taken, I will store it inside a variable called as n. So input has been taken. Now what is that has to be done is, we need to print the equivalent ASCII character for this input. So in case if I come to the next line, and if I simply say system.out.println, and if I say n, if I execute this code, those who are writing, please focus over here. Let's execute the code. So it's waiting for my input. I will just say 65. If I press enter, what will it print? 65. Is that clear to you? But do we want 65 to be printed, or its equivalent ASCII character to be printed? ASCII character or Unicode character is what we need. How do we do this? Sorry? It's very simple. Explicit typecasting. If you do, your job is done. So all you need to do is, while printing the n value, just put one parenthesis over here, and over here you simply say char. If you do this, whatever n value is there, it will convert to its equivalent ASCII character. That's all it is. So if I execute this code, if I say 65, enter, you will see A. If I say 90, you will get Z. If I say 90, how much? 97. Lowercase a, and next number 122, lowercase z. Is that clear to you? Any doubts in this? No. Let's say 48. What will 48 give? No idea. So 48's equivalent ASCII character is 0. So it will give 0. If I give 57, it will give you 9. You know all these things? If you don't know all these things, go to internet and see. I mean, you don't have to go to internet. I've shown you all of those things. So basically 0 to 9, if you want, that ASCII values are 48 to 57. Uppercase A to Z is nothing but 65 to 90. Lowercase A to Z is nothing but 97 to 122. Is that clear to you? If you cannot do that, you simply print and check, do some trial and error, you will get the answers. Is it clear? So there is no new logic that I have applied over here. It's just that whatever you have learnt, I am just revising it after 20 days. That you have forgotten that particular thing. Anyone wants to copy down, can copy down. Those who don't want to copy down can ignore it. Anyone wants to copy down? No. Great then. In that case, I will give another input. I will give the input as 65. If the input is given to you, you need to say whether this particular value is ASCII value of a uppercase character or not. Say me, is this an ASCII value of an uppercase character or not? Yes. For example, if I take uppercase characters, what is that? A to Z. A to Z, what are its value? 65 to 90. Similarly, lowercase a to Z is how much? 97 to 122. Similarly, 0 to 9, that is how much? 48 to 57. Is this clear to everyone? Now, user will give you one value over here. You need to say whether this particular value is a value of an uppercase, is this a uppercase ASCII value or not? Is this falls on the uppercase ASCII value range or not? Then you need to say yes. So in this particular thing, the output has to be yes. Similarly, if user gives 94, does that fall in the uppercase ASCII value or not? No, it doesn't fall in the uppercase ASCII value, so you should say no. Is this clear to everyone? Any doubts in this? Please write the code. Done? Okay. So those who have not completed can have a look at it. So let's start writing the code for this. So in case if it is an uppercase value, so what is that we need to do is, it has to be in the range of how much? 65 to 90. If we want to check anything in a certain range, have we already seen the code for that or not? Yesterday you can remember, if checking whether it is a 2-digit, it comes in the range of 10 to 99. Similarly, you need to check whether it comes in the range of 65 to 90. So how do we write the code for that? You can delete this line, Control D. So I'll come to the next line. Over here we need to write one if else condition or not? Yes. Let's write the if else condition. And what should be the condition over here? The n value whatever is there, that should be greater than or equal to 65. Greater than or equal to 65. Let's give 2 spaces. And the same n value should be less than or equal to 90. Should you satisfy both the condition or only one condition? Both of this condition means which operator? AND operator. So I'll put AND operator. If this condition is true, we need to print yes, otherwise you need to print no. So I'll just print yes over here. And in the else part we will print no. Is it clear to everyone? Let's quickly execute this. So anything you give between 65 to 90, it will say yes, or else it will say no. So I'll say 66. It says yes, and if I give 91, it says no. Is it clear to everyone? Similarly, can you write for lowercase range as well? What should you change? 97 and 122. Similarly, can you do for numeric as well? Yes. Great. Now, great, then you can remove. Let's go to the next problem. You are given one n value. The n value is equal to 10. If the n value is equal to 10, the output should be 10. If the n value is equal to minus 123, the output has to be 123. If the n value is 47, then output also should be 47. Even if it is minus 47, the output should be 47. Is the question clear to everyone? So basically you need to print the absolute value. You are not supposed to make use of math dot anything. No inbuilt methods. You need to write your own logic. Is the question clear to you? Please write the code. No inbuilt methods. Good. If n, else also n only. Then both the places same thing it will print. If n is greater than 0, you will print n. 10 means it will print 10 itself. If the condition is false, when it will be false, minus 10 it will be false. Again it will come over here and print minus 10. What was the problem there? Here also boys only, no? How many of you have written the code and you think it's right? Okay, hands down. Is it so complex? Because majority of them have not written. So, if you observe carefully over here, whenever the input is a positive value, the output is also the same thing, correct or not? So, how do you know whether the given number is a positive value or not? Any number greater than 0 is a positive value, correct or not? So, all that you need to do is just check if the n value, whatever has been given to you, is that greater than or equal to 0. Is that clear to you? If it is greater than or equal to 0, what should you print? The same value you need to print, correct or not? Yes. So, what you can do is, you can put this as a if condition. And over here you can say system.out. System.out.print, and you can print the value of n over here. Any doubts in this part? No. But the problem is, whenever the value is a negative value, whenever it is a negative value, is it less than this n 0 or not? It is definitely less than 0, means the condition is false. So, should we write the else part for this or not? Yes, we need to write the else part. So, I am going to write the else part over here. And inside this else part, again I need to say system.out.print. And what should I print if you ask me? I need to print n itself. But if I directly print n over here, if the number is minus 47, it will print minus 47. Do I want to print minus 47 or 47? 47. How do I convert minus 47 to 47? Multiply that number with minus 1, it will get negative value will be converted to positive value. So, all you need to do is just multiply this with minus 1. If you do this, your job is done. Is that clear to you? If you don't want to do like this, you can simply write minus n as well. So, minus of minus n is what? Plus n. Is that clear to you? So, those who have not written can note it down. Please think and then write. Some people are simply waiting for me to finish writing and then they are planning to copy it. If you do this like this in the starting classes itself, you shall not understand the upcoming classes. Great. Let's quickly write down the code for this. So, over here we need to change the condition. So, if else is necessary. What is the condition? N is greater than or equal to 0. Even if you write greater than 0, that is also correct. Over here what should we print? N value. And over here what should we print? Minus n value. So, I will say minus n. Minus n is equivalent to n multiplied with minus 1. Execute. So, in case if I give 10, it gives me 10. If I give minus 20, it gives us 20. Any doubts in this? No. Great then. So, to do such a simple operation, you don't have to write so many lines of code. You can actually optimize this particular thing. Now, how can we do this? If you ask me, let's go and check step by step. I hope everyone have heard about unary operator and binary operators. Yes or no? What are the unary operators? Okay. What are binary operators? Some people are simply staring like this. I hope your brain is not dead. How many of you know binary operators? Raise your hands. Oh, okay, hands down. Looks like BCom, BA people know, but engineering students don't know. Good. So, how many of you know the meaning of binary? Raise your hands. Raise your hands. How many of you know the meaning of binary? Raise your hands. Others stand up. No. Keep your hands raised. Those who know the meaning of binary, keep your hands raised. Whoever, properly raise your hands. No energy, no breakfast. Stand up, stand up. Those who have not raised your hand, stand up. Great. No, I would like to know, do you really know the meaning of binary or not? If you don't know, then I will start with day 1 classes once again. You know the meaning or not? Yes? Then what's wrong in raising hands? I will also do the same thing. I will not move from this place. I will also stand over here, see the code, copy down. Next program I will type, see the code, copy down. See, if you want my 100% involvement in the class, make sure you also get involved in the class. If you are just coming for just copying from the board, don't attend my classes. I will give you the notes directly. You simply copy from there. If you are coming for my classes, try to make sure that you try writing the code, because if you do not try writing the code, your brain will not function. I do see when I am walking over here, some people are neatly writing question. I am not giving you time to write questions. You might be thinking I am simply walking over there for time pass. Yes, maybe for time pass only I am walking. But I am just understanding the dynamics of this batch, that's all. So, I have not spoken anything. Don't make me speak more. Please make sure, as I mentioned in the first class, I will give my 100%. Our team will give 100%. Make sure you give your 100%. I am not giving time for you to write questions. I am giving time for you to sit and think and come up with a solution. Even if you come up with a wrong solution, it's fine. But don't simply sit so that I write the code and then you will copy down the code. Is that clear to you? Great. So, what are unary operators? First of all, I hope everyone knows what is operators. If you don't know what is operators, please go and start with attending the classes from the new batch. There is no use that you have studied, continued the batches, because I could see how many of them were able to do typecasting over it. So anyways, what is that? What is operators if you ask me? Plus is an operator, or all of these things are operators. Plus is an operator, minus is an operator, multiplication is an operator, division is an operator, mod is an operator, equal to is an operator, greater than is an operator, lesser than is an operator, greater than equal to is an operator, lesser than or equal to is an operator. Have you used all of these things or not? Yes. Now when it comes to the plus operator, how do you use the plus operator if you ask me? You shall use it like this. You will say a plus b, or a minus b, or you will say 1 into 2, or 5 divided by 7. This is how you will write it, correct or not? Now if you observe these things, whatever I have written over here, these are called as operators. Whatever you have on the either side of these things, you call it as operands. Any operator which has more than, which has two operands is called as binary operator. Binary means what? 2. Similarly, these are what type of operators? Yes, they do compare. They are called as relational operators, but they also fall into another category as well. What is that? Binary operators. It's not unary operators. Because even over here, how will you write the code? You will write 10 equal to 10, or 10 greater than 10, or 5 lesser than 10. This is how you will write, correct or not? Now, this is checking the relationship between the two operands. And how many operands are there over here? 2 operands. If the operator is dealing with 2 operands, it is called as binary operator. Is that clear to you? So these things are categorized as arithmetic operators as well as binary operators. These are categorized as relational operators as well as binary operators. Is that clear to you? If anyone has a thought in your mind, how is it possible to categorize into two categories? It's very simple. Now, each one of you can be categorized as Indians, correct or not? Yes or no? Yes. Same way, each one of them can be categorized as male and female, right or not? Yes, see two different categories. Each one of you can be categorized as employed and unemployed, correct or not? See, so many categories can be created for the same person. Same way, over here as well, this operators also can be categorized into different categories. And what all are those things? These are, one is based on what they do, and the other one is based on how many operands are there. What they do, they check the relation, so you call it as relational operator. And in how many operands are there? 2 operands, so you call it as binary operator. Apart from that, there are also unary operators. What are those if you ask me? Plus plus, minus minus. How will you write it? A plus plus or A minus minus. Correct or not? In this you have both post as well as pre. Now say me, this operator is dealing with how many operands? Just one. That's what is called as unary operators. Keep your phone inside, last 5th bench. So next, apart from this, there is one more thing called as ternary operator. Now, what is ternary operator if you ask me? Ternary means which deals with 3 operands. Is that clear to you? So there is only one ternary operator over here. So what is that? I will show you. So ternary operator can be written like this. 1 question mark and 1 colon. So one operand will come over here, one operand will come over here, one operand will come over here. Now whatever operands comes over here, it should be always a Boolean value. What do I mean by this? It should be always either true or false. If it is true, this will execute. If it is false, this will execute. So basically, if this part of the code is true, then this shall execute. If it is false, this shall execute. Is it clear to everyone? Now how can we use this if you ask me? We can use this whenever we have if-else condition like that. If you have any if-else condition like this, you can make use of this particular thing. You don't have to write like this. Can I do it for all the if-else condition? No, only for certain if-else. Can I do it for this? Definitely yes. So let's convert this if-else into this particular thing. So what I shall do is I'll just copy the same thing for here. As I mentioned, over here, what did I say? You should always have only Boolean value. What is that? Either true or false. And over here, you can have any type of values. Is that clear? So over there, what I will do is, I will have this particular condition, n is greater than or equal to 0. I can have this condition over here. N greater than or equal to 0. Same is the result of this will be of what type? Will result of this be 1, 2, 3? Will result of this be x, y, a, b like that? No. What will be the result of this? If n is a positive value, it will give me true. If n is a negative value, it will give me false. If it is true, this should execute. If it is false, this should execute. So if it is true, what are we printing? N. If it is false, what are we printing? Minus n or n into minus 1. So what I will do is, over here, I will simply write n, and over here I will write minus n. Is that clear to you? Now the answer of this, if you want, you can store it inside a variable. So what I will do is, I will store this inside a variable. I will name that variable as res. So I can say res is equal to this thing. Now how does it work if you ask? Let me just remove the unnecessary spaces. Now inside your res, what will be there if you ask me? Inside your res, either you will have n or you will have minus n. So in case if the condition was true, you will have n. If the condition was false, you will have minus n. So what will be the type of res in that case? N or minus n, both are what type? Integer type. So this will be of integer type. So if you want, you can store the result of this inside a variable. If you don't want to store the result and if you want to print it, you can directly print as well. So what you can do is, you can put this inside system.out.print. Now what will it print? Will it print this whole thing if you ask me? No. It will first evaluate this. If it is true, it will print this. If it is false, it will print this. Is that clear to you? So now you don't have to write down that code, you can simply write this code. Is it clear to you? And this is what is called as ternary operator, or it's also known as conditional operator. So let's write the code. So in a single line I will say, first thing what you need to do is you need to put one question mark, one space and one colon. So on the left side of the question mark you need to put a boolean value. So what boolean value I shall put is, I shall put the condition. What is that? N is greater than or equal to 0. And one space. And over here what is that we need to have? N. So I will put N, and over here what should we have? Minus N, and one semicolon. Great. Oh sorry, remove that semicolon. This is the thing that you need to do. I will cut this particular thing and put inside system.out.println. Great, let's execute this. So I will say minus 20. Are we getting the expected output? I will say 7. Expected output? Please copy it up. In interviews, when they ask you questions, they will say, do not make use of if-else condition. When they say like that, you can make use of this thing. And these things will not be asked in your coding interview. When you go to face-to-face interview, they will ask you to write the code in front of them. And then they will ask you for changes to make sure, do you really know everything, or have you mucked up some programs and come. So that's why you should be able to implement. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Let's go to the next problem. You will be given two integer values. What is that you need to do is, you need to print the maximum value in this. So if that is the input, 20 should be the output. If this is the input, 50 should be the output. If this is the input, 10 should be the output. So you will be given two integer values. You are supposed to print the maximum integer value. Please write the code. Why loop? Only one input I will give. I will not give 10, 20, 50, 20, 10, 10 3 times. I will give any one of them. I am just giving you sample input 1, sample input 2, sample input 3. Just for you to understand. Either this input will be given, or this input, or this input, or some other input. How many of you have written? Great. Can you say me the answer? Whatever you have written, say me. Sorry? So basically, let's assume that you are storing in different variables. I will store it inside a variable called as A, and I will store it inside a variable called as B. So what is there any condition you need to check? Yes. What is the condition? You need to check whether A is greater than B. Should this be a if condition or not? Yes. So I'll write this as a if condition. I will open the bracket, close the bracket. In case if the condition is true, which one is greater than? A is greater. What should I do? I need to print the value of A. So over here I shall say system.out.print. What should I print? A. So I will print A over here. In case if the condition is false, what should I do? I need to print B. So I will open this, close this. Inside this I will say system.out.print, and over here I shall print B. Is this clear to everyone? Great. If you want, you can write like this. But I didn't want you to write like this. Just now I showed you. If you have any if else condition like this, you can make use of ternary operator. Is that clear to you? Now how do I make use of ternary operator and write this code if you ask me? First of all, you need to put one question mark and one colon. So you have three parts. Over here you write the condition. If the condition is true, this will execute. If the condition is false, this will execute. What is the condition? Whatever you have written over here, that's the condition you need to write over here. So what is that particular thing? Is A greater than B? If the condition is true, then what does it mean? A is greater. So what should I write over here? A. So I shall write A over here. And if the condition is false, what does it mean? B is greater. So I shall write B over here. If you want, you can store it inside a variable called as max. And in next line, you can say system.out.print, and you can print the value of max. Is that clear to you? Or if you don't want to do this, you can directly print this as well. You can put this whole thing inside system.out.print. Is it clear to everyone? Any doubts in this? So let's quickly write down the code for this. So how many inputs are we taking? Two inputs. First I will consider as A, and I will duplicate this. I will consider this as B. So let's remove this condition. Remove this and remove this as well. What is the condition? A is greater than B. Over here, if the condition is true, what should I print? A. If the condition is false, what should I print? B. Let's execute. So I will give 5 and then 10. What is the maximum value? 10. Are you getting the expected output? Yes. Let's re-execute. Let's give 50 and 20. Which is the maximum value? 50. Are you getting it? 100 and 100. Enter. Are we getting the expected output? Any doubts in this? Are you sure? 100%. Great. In that, you want to copy down? Those who want to can copy down. So the next problem is this. You will be given 4 integer values. Whichever is the maximum in the 4 integer value, you need to print that. You can see among this 7 is the maximum value, you print 7. Among this 50 is the maximum value, so you should print 50. So how many inputs in this? Please write the code. Close your books. Some of them have easily written, some of them are struggling a lot. Anyways, I hope everyone knows if you see sports like cricket, hockey, football and all of this, there is semi-finals in that. Yes? What is semi-finals? How many teams will be there in semi-finals? 4 teams. Any game 4 teams? Okay. Now who will be the champion of that? The best among the 4 teams will be the champion. So basically whenever semi-finals happens, usually what happens is there will be 4 teams. Team A, B, C, D. Now what happens over here is how many semi-finals match will be there? 2. So there will be a match between these 2 teams, there will be a match between these 2 teams. Once you conduct a match between these 2 teams, you will get 1 team over here, 1 team over here. Then after that what do? You conduct the match between both of this, and whoever wins in this is the winner over here. Everyone knows this logic? Same logic apply for those numbers, your problem is solved. So all that you need to do is, you have 4 numbers A, B, C, D. All you need to do is find the maximum of 2 numbers. Do you know how to find the maximum of 2 numbers? Store it inside one variable. Next, find the maximum of other 2 numbers. Do you know how to find the maximum of 2 numbers? Store it in another variable. Now you are left out with 2 numbers. Just find the maximum of those 2. That is your maximum of all the 4. Is this clear to you? This logic you are using every day anyways. You have learnt this logic when you were in your school days. Probably even before you went to your first standard, you learnt this logic. But you are not able to write the code even after engineering. That's the problem. So anyways, let's write the code. So, don't write now, I will finish it, then you can write. So first what we will do is, we will find the maximum of A and B. I hope everyone knows the code for finding maximum of A and B, correct or not? Yes, 1 question mark and 1 colon. How will you write the condition? A is greater than B. If the condition is true, what will you have? A. Or else what will you have? B. Now whatever you have in this, you store it inside a variable called as max1. Is it clear to everyone? Great. Now you have got an answer over here, but have you got the answer between C and D? No. So now again you need to find the maximum between C and D. For that again what you need to do is, you need to put 1 question mark, 1 colon, and let's start writing the condition. What is the condition? C is greater than D. Now what is that you need to do? If the condition is true, C is greater. If it is false, D is greater. Whatever is the answer, store it inside max2. So now you have max1, max2. This is like your 2 semi-finals. Now in this what you need to do is, among these 2, there will be only 1 maximum. So when you had written the code over here, in max1 what you would have got? 30. In max2 what you would have got? 50. So basically over here you would have got an answer as 30 and over here 50. Now all you need to do is find it between them. For that again you need to write the ternary operator, again question mark, colon. What is the condition you need to write? You need to write whether max1 is greater than max2. If the condition is true, what is the answer? Max1. So you will say max1. If it is false, what is the answer? Max2. And this shall be your output, so you can put this inside system.out.print. Is it clear to everyone? Is it very complicated logic? I saw some people writing A greater than B, A greater than C, A greater than D. Oh, that's not the answer, then one more if else condition. You don't have to do all of that. Anyways, copy it on this one. type and code, type and keep. Not that, this one. Let's execute the code and check whether it's working or not. So give any values you like. Are we getting the expected output? Will it work for negative values? Are you sure? Give negative values. What is the largest number? Minus 10 or 55? Minus 10. Okay. Expected output? Great. So the next problem is you are given two values, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 7. What is that you need to do is, you need to swap those two numbers. I hope everyone knows swapping. So basically A should become 7 and B should become 5. Please write the code. How many of you have done? Okay, hands down. Others can close your books. See, whenever it comes to solving a problem, do not consider of directly writing the code. Any problem that you solve has something to do with your real life. Means there is such situations you would have already seen and your brain already knows the answer for that. The problem is many of them consider it to be a part of some syllabus, and automatically when you think it as a part of a syllabus, even the easier things becomes complex things. And that's what had happened in the previous problem as well. I will give a simple example over here. For example, let's assume that I have one cup over here. Java cup. And similarly, I have another jar on the other side. So over here there is some coffee, and over here not Java, coffee. So on the other side you have some water. Now what is that you need to do over here is, whatever is there in this particular thing you need to put over here, and whatever is there over here you need to put it over here. This is a simple task given to you at home. Can you do this or not? How many of you cannot do this? Raise your hands. Okay. Someone in the last cannot do this. Why, ma'am? You cannot hold glasses and all, or do not do any work at home? Because what it seems? Cannot hear. Ask your friends to say it loud. Okay. Ignore. So, anyways, if you have this energy in interview, then gone. So, make sure you increase your energy, ma'am. Anyways, so if you want to exchange this to that, that to this, how will you do it? You can hold both of them. Or if you're talented, you can do that. But if you're not well skilled in that particular thing, then you need to take one other cup. Correct or not? Yes. So what we will do is, you can take another container. You can take one bucket if you want. So what you can do is, let's give name for all of this. I will call it as A, just for our understanding. I will call this as B, and I am using this temporarily, so I will call it as temp. I will not call it as temp, I will call it as T. What will you do in this? First, what is the operation? Either take this and pour over here, or take this and pour over here. Correct or not? Anything you can pour. It's not necessary that only you need to pour first. Correct? Yes. So what I will do is, I will take this particular thing and I will pour it over here. This will be my first operation. Now what happens? This becomes empty and over here it will be filled. Correct or not? Now since that is empty, can I transfer this into that or not? Yes. So this will be the second operation. I will transfer this into this. This shall be the second operation. So now that is filled, this is filled, this is empty. Correct or not? Now whatever is there in your T, transfer that to B. So what you can do is, whatever is there in T, you can transfer that to B. So this shall be your third step. Is this clear to everyone? Is your operation successful or not? Yes. Operation means not doctor wala operation. This also is operation only. So now let's try to put this in the code. How do I put this in the code if you ask me? What is the first step that I have done? Whatever is there in A, I placed it inside T. How do you write the code for this if you ask me? Whatever is there in A, you are placing inside what? T. This is how you write the code. Is it clear to everyone? Second step, what you have done? Whatever is there in B, you placed it inside A. How do you write it that? Whatever is there in B, you are placing it inside A. Is it clear to everyone? So whatever is there here will go over there. Next, what is the third step? Whatever is there in T, you are placing it inside B. So whatever is there in T, you are placing it inside B. Is it clear to you? If you do this much, your swapping is done. Any doubts in this? No. Do you want to mug up this? No. Are you sure? In case if you wanted to mug up, it's very easy. See, A, B, B, T, T. Easily you can mug up. But if you mug up, you know what will happen. So, those who want to note down can note down. I mean, if you have not written, only then you write. Don't simply draw those things. That's for your understanding. It's so unfortunate. This is one of the most common and the simplest question that can be asked in computer science. More than half of the class doesn't know. I saw who and all were writing, who and all wrote now. That's why I asked you to copy down. And in that, some people, even after me explaining that, I thought they will write on their own. Some are like, if once I teach that particular thing, try to write it on your own. If you try to write it on your own, you are involving your brain while writing it. If you simply look like this and write, you are not involving, you are not thinking, you are just copy pasting. Your brain is not involved in this process. Subconsciously it is writing it down. And in this, but if you practice like this, you will never learn how to code. So in all my classes, whenever I solve any problems in this class, first thing that I would do is, I will first show the question to you and ask you to write. Do try writing it. Even if it is wrong, there is no problem. Do try writing it. Because when you try writing it, your brain understands what you know and what you do not know. That's the reason I ask you to write. Not for time pass, I ask you to write. I see some people, when I ask them to write, they will start discussing, what did you watch yesterday? So please make sure that you sit and write that particular thing. Once it is done, even if it is right or wrong, I will teach it anyway. Once I teach that, I will also execute the problem. When I execute the problem, I see some of them will open their books and they will start writing. Please don't write. I am explaining it and I am executing separately for a certain purpose. If I wanted to save the time, how you are saving the time when I am executing, when you are writing, you are probably saving your time, right? So if you are saving your time like that, I could have typed all the programs and I could have kept. All batch, same program only I teach. Maybe 3-4 here and there, changes will be there. I have all of that saved over here. I will directly open that and say, see, the code is written, execute. But I am not doing that for a purpose. When I teach and when I execute, it's basically for you to sit and think when I am typing, what he will type next, what he will type next, what he will type next. That's your revision. You don't have to go home and sit and revise. So whenever, if you have understood, you will know what I am going to type. If you get stuck, your brain will notify you saying that, oh, I made a mistake here. So consciously keep thinking, what will you write next, what will you write next. Once that is done, then you can start writing. And whenever I ask people to write, they directly copy from the board. Do not directly copy from the board. Do you understand whatever logic has been taught? Yes or no? Yes, if yes, then write it on your own. In board, I am displaying it just for reference. In case if you get stuck, only then see the board, or else don't see the board. Is it clear to you? Follow these things regularly, automatically. Even if you do not spend extra time outside the class, still you will become good at programming. And I am following these steps with a certain purpose, and it has helped hundreds and hundreds of people, but there are hundreds and hundreds of them who have ignored and simply sat and copied from the board as well. Definitely for them it's not helped. So if you want any help, please make sure that you try to write on your own. Is that clear to you? Anyways, let's solve the next problem. I will give you one input. One n value will be given to you. Now what is that you need to do is, whatever n value is given to you, you need to check whether that n value is multiple of 3 or not. If it is multiple of 3, you need to print tab. Is that clear to you? In case if it is not multiple of 3 and if it is multiple of 5, you need to print ACAD. And in case if it is multiple of both 3 as well as 5, in that case what should you print? No, BTM. This is the expected outcome. Is the question clear to everyone? I hope everyone have studied if else condition. Yes? You understood how if else works? I hope everyone understands how to find multiple of 3, multiple of 5 and multiple of 7 or any other numbers. Yes or no? Yes. Please write down the code. I know it's a very easy problem. Try to write down soon. No book? I forgot. One thing you need to carry. N divided by 3 or mod 3? Then you have written divide by 3. Everyone has written the program? Great then. So just let me know what is the code I need to write. How many of you have written? Raise your hands. Okay. Backside, orange t-shirt and all the people around you and behind you. Looks like some people are dead in the class. So anyways, let's start writing the code. What is the condition I need to write? If what? N mod 3 is equal to 0. What should I print? Tab. So I will say system.out.print tab. Next, what should I write? Else or directly if? Else if. What is the condition? N mod 5 equal to 0. What should I print? ACAD. So I will say ACAD. Next, else. Again, should I write if condition or directly I should print? If. What is the condition? N mod 3 equal to 0 and N mod 5 equal to 0. So in this case, what should I print? BTM. So I'll say BTM. How many of you have written this code? Raise your hands. How many of you have not written this code? Raise your hands. Okay, hands down. So majority of them have written this code and they think it's correct. So let's check whether it's correct. If I give 6, what should be the output? What should be the output? Tab. Let's see. Are we getting the expected output? Great. So let's re-execute this problem. If I give 9, what should be the output? Tab. In case if I give 20, what should be the output? Sorry? ACAD. Are we getting the expected output? Yes. For example, if I give 35, what should be the output? Huh? ACAD. Great. Which are the numbers which is multiple of both 3 and 5? Any number? 15. If I give 15, what should be the output? Sorry? BTM. See BTM. So majority of you thought you have written the correct answer. But this is your answer. This is what happens in coding interviews. You think you have written the right answer, you come out of the interview thinking you will crack it. But in reality, majority of them get failed. Because you do not think from every perspective. So please make sure whenever you are solving problems, think from every perspective. Try giving different inputs after you write the code. Simply because I gave the input, you understood what is the problem. Now can you resolve this problem or not? How do you resolve this problem? The problem is, you have given n value over here. You are saying n mod 3. N mod 3 means 15 mod 3. 15 mod 3, is that equal to 0? Yes, means it will print tab. Will it, if this prints, will it print this part? No. Will it print this part? No. Then what should you do? Last condition should be put on top. That's all you need to do. So all we need to do over here is take this particular last condition and put this as the first condition. Now if you execute this, let's give 30. Are you getting the expected output? Yes. Let's give 35. Expected output. Let's give 12. Expected output. Any doubts in this? How many of you wrote like this? Raise your hands. Hands down. Now, can you say me one thing? Which are the numbers which are multiple of both 3 and 5? Okay, first number is 15. Next one. Next number. Next number. Next number. Sorry? Next number. 90. What do you see among these numbers? Are they all multiples of 15 or not? Yes. If that is the case, then why are you writing two conditions over here? Just write one single condition, n mod 15 is equal to 0. If you write a single condition, that's more than sufficient. You give 15 as input, you got the expected output. You give 60 as the input, you get expected output. You give 66 as input. What should be the output? Tap. You got the output. That's how you write the code. So, how many of you have written like this? Which department? CS. Someone over here? Which department? Huh? BBA. Give one rounds of clap for both of them. So those who come and say, I am from civil department, I am from mechanical department, you have a real-time example over here who is doing far better than you guys. So, coding is not about which department you are from, how much computer science you have studied and all of that. Coding is all about how you think. Is that clear to you? And each one of you can make sure that you become better and better and better day by day. But if you have to work towards it, you should get involved in this. And if you are just coming to classes to copy down, as some people are copying using phone, ma'am, however you use your phone, I will get to know. Keep it inside. So, if you are coming for classes just to copy down some problems, please don't come to my classes. Those who are interested to learn and build your career, come to these classes. You will definitely enjoy from day 1 to day n. But if you are simply coming to copy down the problems, then you will not enjoy the classes. And I will say how the way you will enjoy, as well as when you go to your PG, you will start enjoying solving problems as well. At starting you might find it difficult, but going ahead you will start enjoying solving problems. Make sure that you give your 100% towards it. Is that clear to you? You have come all the way from different places or different parts of this country for doing one thing. What is that? To get a job. So please work towards it. I know there are so many people in this class who have not yet installed Eclipse. So please make sure that you install Eclipse, because every batch we get some set of people who will say, sir, I don't know how to install Eclipse when the mock is conducted. I hope it will be nobody from this batch would be like that. If you have not installed, install it today. If TIE starts working, we will notify in the Slack. If TIE does not start working, we will anyways put all those problems in a PDF format in the Slack groups. Please make sure you solve each and every program. And when you are solving each and every program, do not change it in the same file, rather create separate files for each of the problems. Is that clear to you? So do this. You have 2 days of time. So please utilize these 2 days of time and try to explore as much as possible in these 2 days of time. So many problems will be posted. Please make sure you solve each and every problem. You have doubt in any of the problems, I will be over here. You can come and ask. Have a great weekend.